I'm gonna show you how to perfect your putting with these 6 keys that Tiger Woods wrote in this book, and these are really nice tips, and you should definitely not miss them. So they're mostly written in text, you're gonna see that on the screen, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more kind of visualization, so visual look, and I'm gonna try to putt them and show you in real time. So let's start off with the first one. Now let's start off with the first tip. So the first tip is have the same length backswing as you have the follow through. So in this case, you want your putting to look like this. Yellow tee in this case, right? I'm maintaining my pace throughout a whole stroke, okay? Now what happens when you have a short backswing and a very fast acceleration? This is what I did for most of my years once I actually learned this book and learned a few techniques that I actually needed to do. Now I used to putt like this, right? So this was my putting regime. Short backswing, bam, acceleration. And you're not maintaining the whole pace throughout the whole stroke, and that leads to inconsistency and even pushes and pulls. Now on the other hand, you can be someone who likes to go very far back and then stops at the ball, right? Same. You can go with a pull, you can have a push, and you can be very inconsistent. So it's very simple. Try to maintain the same pace and the same length backwards as you go forwards. It will give you a much better pace and a much better tempo on your putting. Now let's move on to the second tip. So the second tip talks about your shoulders and arms being connected, right? This is very simple. All we want is we want our shoulders and arms to be connected throughout the whole putting stroke, all right? Just like this. Connected, connected. What we don't want is we don't want our hands to be faster than our shoulders. In this case, it would look like this, right? My shoulders moved and my hands moved even faster, but now here my shoulders and arms are not attached together. So you need to keep your arms and your shoulders in the same position throughout the whole stroke, okay? Like this. Okay, let me give you another putt. Like this, all right? We don't want our hands moving in separate direction. This has to be connected. All right, now the third tip. Now the third tip, it's about a little bit of a hinge, right? Now this is really important. Tiger always talks about how you need to be, stable, unnecessary movements, but you still need to have a little bit of hinge. And I always say this as well. You don't want to be a freezing machine, right? You don't want to be like this with no feel, with no movement, right? The putting is all about shoulders and arms, right? We move with our shoulders and arms, right? Our hands are not doing this, but at the same time, our hands still need to feel a little bit of, natural wrist movement, right? We don't want to freeze and we don't want to hinge too much of the wrist. So in this case, the grip pressure comes in play. Now, grip pressure will affect how much hinge you're gonna do in your backstroke. If you're gonna squeeze as hard as you can, you're most likely not gonna have any hinge with your wrist, right? So that's gonna be a very wrong move. In this case, if you squeeze your club maybe 5 to 6, from 1 to 10, if you're gonna squeeze your club, on the scale of 6, then you might have a little bit more hinge, and the flow of the club is gonna flow as it should, right? And you don't want to promote the hinginess. You want your upper body to go backwards, and then your hands are gonna do all the work, okay? So watch, like this. All right? I'm not completely stable and I'm not promoting any unnecessary wrist movement. As we said before, we have to work with our shoulders and arms, right? We don't want to move and putt with our hands, right? This has to be as stable as possible, but still to a certain position that you have enough feel when you putt. Now let's go to the fourth tip. So the fourth tip that Tiger Woods talks about is having pretty much the same length of your club shaft and your arm, right? So you don't promote any weird angles. So that's why he uses his wrist to wrist it down a little bit, so he gets the shaft and his arm in the same place, right? So if I put my putter like this, you're gonna see the angle between this and this is like, I don't know, 30 degrees my mat is bad. So, you know, you see there's a weird angle, right? It's not going in the same. Now, if I put my wrist up, you're gonna see these will extend towards a whole arm, right? So having, you know, your wrist a little bit more bowed down, it's gonna give you that advantage of having your club extended all the way and having this like at the same lie, right? So let me give you another putt like this. He puts his wrist a little bit more up, and now my club is extended and it feels like everything is my one arm. It's that simple. So the fifth tip, it's about head movement, right? You should be absolutely still with your head. Your head should absolutely not move, all right? And this goes to probably every amateur and even professionals. You need to have your head still, all right? Now watch. When you know, even at the start, you want your head to be, you know, straight down. You don't want your head to be tilted left or right. But this mostly goes to when you putt, your head should be absolutely still, right? You don't want to move your head left and right, up and down. It has to be very still, and this will give you lots of consistency, right? Even Tiger said all the bad putters are gonna move their head, which is obvious, right? You don't want unnecessary movement, so keep your head still, right? So when you putt, try to stabilize with your lower body. And then from there, you don't move your head. You just move with shoulders and arms, like we said before. All right, my head didn't move. Only my shoulders and my arms moved my club. We're not moving with our lower body, and we're not moving with our head. Our head and our belt, from belt down, we should be very still. We should just move with our shoulders and arms. All right, bam, like this. Bam, 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 bam. All right. The sixth tip, it's about no picking, right? So you want to finish your stroke before you actually pick. Now we all love to pick before we actually, you know, finish our whole stroke to see if we actually, you know, made the putt or not. But that's gonna lead to many inconsistencies. Now, I used to do this a lot and I used to have many pushes because of this. I used to pick a lot, and when I picked too early, then my whole body would go left, right? So in this case, you could still pull the ball or you can push the ball. So all you need to do is wait 1 second before you look at, you know, the ball. So in this case, try to make the stroke as, you know, as bad as you can possibly do. Try to perfect stroke and try to do a perfect stroke, and then you can look, because if you're gonna do a good stroke, you're gonna essentially make the putt, right? So in this case, wait 1 second before you actually putt. So you go back, boom, one, and now you can actually look, right? So you have finished the stroke, and now the ball is going to go in the direction that you know that the stroke is actually needed. So no picking, very big advantage. If you like these kind of videos, drop a comment, give me a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.